All right, y'all, come on in. Today we're going to be looking at this Boudoir Facebook ad, seeing what we're doing good to get us good results and seeing what we're doing bad to get us bad results. And as normal, we'll be going through my, kind of my 10-step framework, or, the 10 most common mistakes that I see boudoir photographers making in their boudoir Facebook ads. And this is some data from some other boudoir Facebook ads I took on my own, tested, and then fixed the mistakes and then retested them. And kind of on average, I was able to get 2 to 4x the amount of women coming through, consuming the ad copy, becoming pre-qualified, seeing our offer, because we want to have our full offer in the ad copy. And this is all for literally the same amount of money, literally the same ad spend. 2 to 4x increase, the amount of women reading, consuming the ad copy, and full offer. And the hidden metric that we use that basically no one else knows about or cares about is Unique CTR all. This is basically, like out of 100 women in our city, how many out of 100 are clicking and engaging with our ad? AKA, out of 100 women in our city, how many women is our ad relevant to? And this score, super matters. And the level we always try and keep it above is 6%. So unique CTR above 6%. And yeah, I'm able to get 6 to 9%. I've also gotten other ads where I tested a lot more, 10 to 14%, which helps our ads sustain and grow. Also grows our retargeting audience, like 2 to 4x larger for the same ad spend. And we're calling in actually a more specific woman. So these are, more specific, obviously means more qualified. So these 10 mistakes I've already used to fix other boudoir Facebook ads. We're also going to look at, compare the current one we got going on. And the reason why unique CTR is so important has to do with it's kind of one of the major deciding factors of whether our ad does worse and worse over time, same ad spend, lower results, lower sales over time, or same ad spend, better results over time. So same ad spend, more sales, more revenue, more conversions, more efficient over time. So we're gonna talk about that, and let's see. All right, back to this ad here. Kind of boudoir photographers have been running ads, or at least boudoir Facebook ads for a long time. One of the most common things they're dealing with is, if they're doing the ads on their own, is, again, the ads doing worse and worse over time, the ads dying out, ads burning out, basically kind of same ad spend, lower sales. I mean, it starts out good, but same ad spend, lower sales over time, lower revenue, less clients, less perfect fit clients. And so these boudoir photographers that are running the ads on their own, they're feeling desperate. Like, oh man, this was working and now it's dying out, and my whole business is dying out with it. So when I refresh creative, or I'm gonna try, just change the picture, and cool, that next one works good, but it follows the same dying out, burning out, refresh creative path. And that's because the structural issues of the ad, kind of these top 10 mistakes, top 10 most common mistakes, have not been addressed, have not been fixed. So any ad where we refresh the picture, new picture, refresh creative, the ad has all these, 10 plus structural mistakes still. Or the other path is that the boudoir photographer, they've been running ads a long time. They've been paying an ad agency to do it. And, they're paying them ad agency a ton of money every month. And literally the same ad spend every month as well, chunk for ad spend. And they're getting actually worse and worse and worse results over time. And they're going to frustrate at their ad agency, like, man, why am I paying you guys a ton of, agency fee every month for y'all to give me worse and worse results every month? Like, why would I keep paying your fee? And what the boudoir photographer, is starting to realize now is, well, the ad agency probably gave them their best ads, their best ideas in the beginning to get them, to get them hooked. And now it's kind of the lower tier ads, which is why the same ads and worse results over time that the ad agency is doing. So boudoir photographers, probably just going to kick them to the curb, keep the ads that are currently working in the account running because they most likely already got the best ones. Now this phenomena, same ad spend, worse and worse results over time for an ad, is actually not normal. It's a symptom of a deeper root cause issue. I know I see it happening to most boudoir photographers. That's because most boudoir photographers, are making the top 10 most common mistakes here, structural issues, root cause problems. And here's why these top 10 mistakes are an issue. So it has to do with the way the meta ad algorithm works. So an ad goes out to the first group of women, aka the first tranche of women. It's getting data, it's getting unique CTR all data, getting link click-through data, conversion rates from kind of this first group of women, kind of like neutral profiles, middle of the road profiles in our city. And that data actually gets pumped back into the meta ad algorithm for the meta ad algorithm to decide who to send our ads to for tranche 2. Now, ads that have any of these top 10 most common mistakes, what happens is lower unique CTR alls, lower link click, lower link to conversion ratio, lower conversion data. That's, basically low result data feeding back into the meta ad algorithm. As a result, this is the magic, our ads actually go to lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2. Kind of like, tier B meta profiles. And what are these meta profiles? Why are they tier B? Well, they have a lower kind of global / master / account level conversion rate. And so what's the result? Spend the same ad spend, go the same amount of women, we get less results. So our ads starting to die out already. The same ad spend, lower results. Again, yes, feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, decides who our ads go to for tranche 3. And we go to even worse meta profiles for tranche 3, kind of like tier C meta profiles, which have an even lower kind of meta account level conversion rate. And this just feeds on itself till the ad burns out, dies out. The ad runner refreshes their creative. And this is what we call the downward spiral of despair. But our ads enter the downward spiral of despair always based on the data from tranche 1, aka group 1 women that our ads go to. And the low initial data from tranche 1 or low results, low metrics, are all a result of either making or not making these top 10 most common boudoir Facebook ad mistakes that we're going to talk about in the video today. So that's kind of the most common scenario. Now, what happens if we fix these mistakes that we're going to talk about today? Here's what happens then. Our ad goes out to tranche 1 women. We get good initial metrics, unique CTR all, link click to conversion rate, good conversion data from tranche 1 women. That data feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, and our ads actually go to higher quality meta profiles. It's like we basically unlock higher quality meta profiles, aka we unlock premium placements. We unlock tier, tier A plus profiles, whereas, tranche 1 was tier A profiles. Or we could say tier AA. So we go to tier AA profiles, much higher quality. And these are much higher quality because they have a much higher account level / master level / global level conversion rate. So these are worth more to Meta because they're worth more to businesses. So Meta wants to actually treat these guys the best, which means only showing them the best ads, or at least the much better than average ads. So our ads go to tranche 2 women.
And we got same ad spend, better results. Okay, totally different than the initial scenario we talked about. Same ad spend, better results over time. All that data feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Ad for tranche 3, our ads are then determined to go to even higher quality meta profiles, AAA quality meta profiles with a higher global / master / account level conversion rate. These are, basically the best meta profiles, which means meta has to keep them the happiest, which only sends them the most relevant, kind of most proven ads, proven through tier A profiles, tier AA profiles, and now up into tier AAA profiles. Same ad spend, even better results. And, so on and so on, feeds onto itself, ads go into better, higher quality meta profiles over time. And Meta treats these better and better profiles even better because Meta needs them to keep coming back on the platform and keep them happy because they keep the advertisers the most happiest. So advertisers keep spending money with Meta. And so this is called the upward spiral of awesomeness. And again, it's all based off of the initial data we get from our ads going to tranche 1 women. It's our first group of women. And again, it's from solving these top 10 most common boudoir photographer Facebook ads mistakes. And when our ads are doing same ads and better results over time, our ads are sustaining and scaling, and we scale the business. So that's the actual root cause problem of what's going on here. And these 10 mistakes we're going to talk about determines the tranche 1 data and whether our ads go to downward spiral of despair or the upward spiral of awesomeness and sustains and scales the business. And then, we're the most popular one in our friend group, best boudoir photographer. Everyone wants to be like us. Everyone's jealous of us. Everyone wants our advice. And we're like, kind of top of the social hierarchy of our friend group. So now we're going to get into the top 10 mistakes here or potential mistakes. All right, and first one is always, does it look like an ad? So for this, I'm looking at just the pictures, seeing if there's text on them. No, this one's good. Doesn't look like an ad, just a normal, this could be like a normal organic carousel post. And this is good. We want our ads to not look like ads. And that's because if they do look like ads, more women scrolling by, which means less women consuming our ad copy. Because humans, we got ad blindness, banner blindness. We don't want to be sold to. We're on Facebook simply to be entertained. So if it looks more like an ad, less people to read the ad. But this one looks more like an organic post. Good. So we're gonna have more women coming up here to read what we got going on. More women consuming our see more headline right here, first 2 3/4 lines. More on that in a little bit. Reading our full ad copy, where our offer should be. So we're gonna have more women getting pre-qualified on our offer. So we're gonna have more qualified leads, more qualified appointments. Less price hunters, less price objections, less tire kickers, less ghosting, resulting in more sales, more revenue, more bookings, more conversions, higher ROAS, all from tranche 1 women. And all that data is pumped back into the meta ad algorithm. Ads then go to higher quality, tier, whatever, the next highest tier of meta profiles, which results in same ad spend, better results over time. So our ads kind of is in the upward spiral of awesomeness now from the tranche 1 data. Same ad spend, better results over time. Ad sustains and scale the business. All right, the next 2 to 4 mistakes, the next 4 mistakes, so mistakes 2 through 5 can happen up here in the see more headline. This is the first 2 3/4 lines on Facebook mobile newsfeed. And this is the most important real estate of our entire ad account. Actually, probably any other place we could advertise as well, any other channel. Here's why. These first 2 3/4 lines on Facebook mobile newsfeed, before it says ... see more in the final quarter of line 3 on the right. This ad we're only using like 1.5 out of the 2.75 lines, so we're only using like half of the most valuable real estate for advertising in the universe. So here's why this line's so important. First of all, this is where most of our ad, 5% the reason this is most important real estate is this is where most of our ad impressions will be. Facebook mobile newsfeed. We know that by if we go to our Meta Backends Ad Manager, we go to the top right, we click on the breakdown drop-down menu, then we click on placements, and then we go to our impression column and we click on the word impression either once or twice to get it like to sort from highest to lowest. And then we go bottom left of our Meta Ads Manager. The bottom row is the summary row. And next to the, on the bottom left, there's a little arrow to bring up the summary row. If we bring up the summary row, and we got placements breakdown enabled sort of from highest to lowest, we're going to see the highest percentage of placements or, the most placements where the impressions are as Facebook mobile newsfeed. And this is the one where we can provide the most context, the most words, right, to every other placement. So this is the one where we test. Now the 95% reason why this is the most important real estate for advertising is, as women are scrolling the newsfeed, 100 out of 100 women are seeing right here where I've got highlighted the see more headline. Literally 100 out of 100 women. And for a good Boudoir Facebook ad, the percentage of women that are clicking ... see more to open the rest of the ad copy is 5 out of 100. And this is unique CTR all of 5%. Now, if we got 5%, and that's a good Boudoir Facebook ad, average is actually, that I've seen, 2 to 3%. And I'm able to get, 6 to 9%. But this right here, if let's we got a good Boudoir Facebook, we got 5 out of 100. We'll see this, but 100 out of 100 will see this. This means we're exposing 20x more people to our message up here in the see more headline, and all the words and characters that we can use to set context up here in the see more headline. This is literally 20x more valuable than this ad real estate here after the ... see more, where people got to click, engage to open it up. So, boom, see more headline. This is where we focus, and this, because of this, is the reason where 95% of ad spend is won or lost here in the see more headline, because 95 out of 100 women will see this. Well, yeah, 95 out of 100 women will see this where it's highlighted, and 5 out of 100 women will see all of this because they've clicked in unique CTR all of 5%. All right, so the 4 things we want to have in here to set proper context. Well, actually, it's up here. The first thing is want to know who are we speaking to? What is a self-label for the women we're speaking to, where they're scrolling, the self-label is like, hey, that's me, and they cause them to scroll back up or read more of what I got highlighted here. Read the full 1 to 2 sentences. So let's check in this ad. So we got yourself. You don't need to break. No. So we're missing the who, which means when more women scrolling on by, because nothing is relevant to them, to have them come up and read this, which means we're going to have less women reading our see more headline, which means we're going to have less women clicking ... see more, which means we're going to have less women opening the full ad copy, which means we're going to have less women reading the full ad copy, which means we're going to have less women that are fully pre-qualified, which gives us fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more ghosting, more tire kickers, more price hunters, more price objections, resulting in lower ad spend, or basically lower results, lower revenue, lower sales, lower ROAS from tranche 1 women, and all that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, and our ads go to lower quality meta profiles over time, which are same ad spend, lower results,
and our ads have entered the downward spiral of despair. Same ad spend, lower results over time. Ad burning out, ad dying out. We got to refresh our creative. But we haven't fixed the structural issues when we refresh the creative, so it's the same downward spiral of despair after. Next. Second thing we want to have in the See More headline is a neg. Basically a negative experience. So we'd say, what negative experience are women in our city going through that they want to get away from? Kind of like they're on Riverbank 1 side of the river, and they just want to get over to the other side of the river, Riverbank 2, just to get away from this negative experience, not have to deal with it anymore. And we always, always, always lead with the negative experience. Here's why. The probability a human takes an action to go from a negative experience, aka a pain, to get back to normal / no pain / neutral is literally 100x larger than that same human taking an action to go from normal / neutral / no pain and taking the action to get some gain, some positive, some gain, some benefit, some pleasure. Literally 100x difference. So it's literally 100x difference, higher probability the humans taking action on our ad. Now think of us going to the dentist. We go to the dentist, got our 6-month teeth cleaning checkup done. We're at the front desk. We're talking to the secretary ladies. And they're like, "Hey, are you free 163 days from now on Tuesday at 8:15 a.m.?" And we're like, I ain't got no clue, but contact me closer to then, and I will know when I actually got, what my schedule is and if I can fit it in. So they put us in their auto texter. Auto text us month 3, we ignore it. Auto text us month 4, we ignore it. Auto text us month 5, we ignore it. And month 6 comes and goes, and we did not go to we didn't go to the dentist. We didn't book an appointment with the dentist. We did not show up to the dentist. We really didn't even think about the dentist. And why is that? Well, we're busy working on our business, growing our business, running ads, putting out fires, shooting for clients, editing photos for clients, fulfilling for clients, and mental momentum, flow state. We don't want to push back stuff in our schedule because we're stuffed already. And the guaranteed gains, the guaranteed positives, the guaranteed pleasures of going to the dentist, which there are 2, which is 1, guaranteed clean your teeth, and 2, guaranteed kind of peace of mind knowing either we have no cavities or we did have one and it's all been taken care of before it gets into a bigger problem. So we got guaranteed cleaner teeth, guaranteed positive peace of mind, 2 guaranteed gains, 2 guaranteed positives. And those 2 guaranteed gains, guaranteed positives, they're not enough for us to take an action. Like we're in our normal, no pain, neutral homeostasis state, and we're simply not taking action to go get those guaranteed gains, guaranteed positive experiences. They're not big enough for us to alter our behavior. And so we continue on, month 8, we get a call, we ignore it. Month 10, month 12, we get a text again each time. And we actually result in, we skip the dentist again. Another 6-month checkup, another 6-month teeth cleaning, and we skip. So it's twice in a row. And same thing, we're busy, growing our business, putting out fires, shooting for clients, bookings, handling cancellations, doing editing photos. And again, the guaranteed gains, guaranteed positives, guaranteed pleasures of cleaner teeth and peace of mind knowing we ain't got no more cavities in our mouth. Those gains, those positives are, again, not big enough for us to be prompted to take an action. Now month 13 comes, and we're near the end of month 13, and we're eating breakfast one day, and Dude, every bite we got pain on the right side of our mouth, in the back, on the bottom. Pain, pain, pain. One of our molars back there, one of our teeth. Like, oh my God, dude, it's killing me eating this, whatever, eating this breakfast. It's like eating nails, like biting down hard on nails or something. Or, yeah, I got a lot of pain over there. So we finished our breakfast, go through the rest of our morning, and we still got pain in our tooth and our jaw, even though we're not chewing anything anymore. It's, it's making it hard for us to concentrate on what we're doing during the day. But we make it to lunch, and by lunchtime we've learned, basically we've learned to eat the food on the left side of our mouth. So we're eating on the left side, but still, we still got some pain on the right side, on the basically on our tooth, down at the kind of the bottom of the tooth as well, in our jaw when we're chewing, because our teeth still touch on the right side even when we're chewing on the left. And then some food still goes over on the right side, even though we try to keep it over on left muscle memory. So we actually stop eating our lunch like halfway through because it's literally too much pain. It's like not even worth it. We're thinking, all right now this is killing me. I can't focus. I can't eat. Probably won't be able to eat dinner. Probably won't be able to sleep. I cannot live like this. I gotta get this solved ASAP. So right after lunch, we call up our dentist. We're talking with them, and we're like, "What? What do you mean you can't get me in tomorrow at 7:30 a.m.? What do you mean you're booked for 2 weeks straight? You're booked out 2 weeks?" And they're like, "Yeah, dude, we're booked out 2 weeks. We can put you on the cancellation list though, although you won't be at the top. So someone cancels, we may be able to get you in early, but no guarantees." And we're like, dude, this thing is killing me. I cannot deal with this another 2 weeks. No way. So we hang up the phone, and dude, we call every other dentist in the city. Like, hey, can you get me in tomorrow morning? Hey, can you get me in tomorrow morning? Hey, can you get me in tomorrow morning? Finally, we got one dentist that says, yes, we'll get you in tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. So we roll in. We're there right on time. Barely slept. Too much tooth pain. And they do the X-ray on us. Say, wow, big cavity. Yeah, right side of our mouth, in the back, on the bottom, or our molars back there. And so I go in, they clean out the cavity, they fill it with the resin gel stuff. They give us the the UV pen, harden up that resin, turn it into like basically tooth material. Then we bite down on the whatever the colored pressure paper to make sure our tooth's not too high or low. And then they do the rest of our cleanings and kind of our default 6-month checkup stuff, and we leave. And so we're leaving, we're biting the air, doing some air bites, having our teeth touch, no pain, cool. We go home, we eat breakfast on the right side of our mouth, no pain either. Awesome, oh my God. Thank God I can actually focus. That pain has been solved. I'm back to my normal no pain / homeostasis state, and I can actually work on all the things I couldn't work on yesterday because I couldn't focus because I was dealing with this pain. And so there are two scenarios here. The first one is literally 13 months, which is 400 days. So for 400 days, we're in our normal / neutral / homeostasis state, and we had two guaranteed gains of cleaner teeth and peace of mind knowing we wouldn't have any cavities that could snowball into something bigger. So those were guaranteed on the table if we booked an appointment with a dentist and showed up to get our 6-month teeth cleanings done. And for 400 days, we took no action. Right? We're fine. Our normal / neutral / homeostasis state, and other stuff was taking priority. Now, Literally one day in pain, of tooth pain, from us starting us eating breakfast at the end of month 13. Dude, literally one day we're taking a massive action, calling up our dentist, trying to get on the schedule any way possible, calling up every other dentist in the city, trying to get on someone's schedule as fast as possible. Massive, massive, massive action because we're experiencing a negative experience, aka a pain. And dude, all we wanted was we weren't even focused on anything else. We were just like, get me back to normal, get me back to my no pain state, get me back to my homeostasis. I just, I gotta get out of this pain. I cannot deal with this. I cannot live like this. And so one day with pain, with a negative experience, we're taking massive action. 400 days with no pain, we're taking no action to go from neutral to some positive scenario, some positive situation. So, difference between those, kind of the rate that we take in action is literally 400x difference. Imagine if we could 400x our conversion rate, which, that probably won't happen. But just by this example, we can see how much pain moves the humans more than positive gain or pleasure. It's always been like this. People would much rather kind of just like go through life normal, no pain, homeostasis, than be in any pain at all, and certainly any pain to get a gain. Most people are like, no way. Um, and so originally I said, 100x difference between these two probability of actions. But in this example, we saw with ourselves it's literally 400x or higher. And we might have waited 800 days to get the positive gain of going to the dentist. So it's definitely more than the 100x. This is why we always, always, always lead with a negative. So let's see. Do we have a negative here? No, we're missing a neg. So we got more women scrolling on by, less women saying, hey, this is what I want to get away from in my head. Let me read a little bit deeper, see what they got going on. So more women scrolling on by, fewer women clicking ... see more. Fewer women opening and reading the full ad copy, which is where we want to have our full offer, which means fewer women are getting pre-qualified. So we're having fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more tire kickers, more price hunters, more price objections, more ghosting, resulting in lower sales, lower revenue, fewer bookings, fewer conversions, lower ROAS from tranche one women. And all that data feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, and our ads go to lower quality meta profiles over time, which means same ad spend, lower results over time. We're in the downward spiral of despair. Ads burn out, ads die out. Refresh creative. All right, the second thing we want to have in the See More headline is a positive. So kind of like, they're on the left side of the riverbank. They got this negative experience they want to get away from. And then on the right side of the riverbank, kind of, the second riverbank on the other side of the river, when they get over there, they're gonna guaranteed get away from the negative thing that they want to get away from. But we're gonna have this other different orthogonal positive thing that they'll also get. Like, oh yeah, dude, I want both those things. So let's see. Celebrate yourself. Yeah. Okay. This can be written better, but yeah, I'll give this. So are some women in their brain saying, I want to celebrate myself? Some women in our city saying that in their brain. Yeah, I can definitely see that. And yes, we test all this. The data tells us where we go. And so, yeah, we got the positive here. So good. Someone scrolling on by, they say, celebrate yourself. Let me see what they got. That is exactly kind of what I want right now. It's got more women coming up, reading our See More headline. More women clicking ... see more to open our full ad copy, which means more women will be reading our full ad copy and becoming pre-qualified. So we're going to have more qualified leads, more qualified appointments, less ghosting, less price objections, fewer price hunters, resulting in more revenue, more sales, more bookings, more conversions, higher ROAS from tranche one women. And all that data goes back into the meta ad algorithm, and we unlock, the higher quality meta profiles, which is same ad spend, more sales, more revenue,
keeps feeding in on itself, going back in the meta ad algorithm. Our ad sustains and scales. We scale the business. We're the most popular boudoir photographer in our social circle. All right. The third and final thing we want is a hesitation or roadblock. What is stopping women from taking an action? So we got our riverbank one on the left side of the river, where the negative experience our women in our city want to get away from. We have riverbank two on the right side of the river, the other side. That kind of second thing, not related to the first one, but the second different thing that women also want. And then we got a few ways to get across. We got a few, there's a few different bridges. We have one bridge. There's some boats to get across. There's one helicopter. So what is stopping someone from taking either our solution across to get away from the thing they don't want to deal with and get this other secondary thing that they also want that's different? Or we're stopping them from taking any of the boats, or stopping them from taking the helicopter. And yeah, so what's the hesitation or roadblock that's in their brain? Yeah, and I would say this is, so when I say, oh, I can't do boudoir, I can't celebrate myself until my birthday. Okay, you don't need a birthday. There we go. So we're overcoming that hesitation / objection. This is good. Good. So we got this. We're still missing the triangle of mental tension, though. This is the negative, the positive, the hesitation / roadblock, which is like the ultra specific, which is where we gotta get to. That's good. We got hesitation / roadblock here, which means we're gonna have more women that say, "Hey, I want to celebrate myself," and oh, I thought I had to wait to my birthday to do that. Let's click in here, click ... see more, see what they got to offer. So we're gonna have more women clicking ... see more, and we're gonna have so it's more women opening and reading the full ad copy, which is where we're gonna get pre-qualified. So we're gonna have more qualified leads, more qualified appointments, less ghosting, fewer price hunters, fewer tire kickers, fewer price objections, resulting in more sales, more revenue, more bookings, more conversions, higher ROAS from tranche one women, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Ad then goes to higher quality meta profiles for tranche two. Same ad spend, even more sales. So the upward spiral of awesomeness is where we're going to get to. And feeds on itself. Our ads going to higher quality meta profiles over time. Same ad spend, better results over time. Our ads are sustaining and scaling. We're scaling the business. We're the most popular in our friend group. All right, so that's the See More headline. Now we got to talk about the next three mistakes can happen here in the body copy. So here in the body copy, well, we're going to talk about some newsfeed psychology right now. Newsfeed scrolling psychology. So yeah, when we're on kind of Facebook, TikTok, social media, we're on TikTok brain time. We're looking to be entertained, scrolling fast, find the next cool piece of content. And this all happens subconsciously, automatically. Now, so we got our women scrolling by, women in our city scrolling by. And we call this the fast brain. It's moving fast, picking up any signs of relevance or interest to us, and specific to each woman, each person. And fast brain, and we get some women to stop and come back up to read our See More headline. Get them to read one or two sentences. This is huge because 100 out of 100 women are able to see this. And because because we've gotten them to slow down, come back up here to read stuff, they've actually gone from a fast brain to a slower or a slow brain. It's kind of like, hitting the brakes on the car at like 75% strength. Pretty jarring. But we've got relevance, so they click the ... see more, and they open this big, massive wall of text, and the TikTok brain's like, dude, keep scrolling. We got other cool stuff to see. Keep scrolling. And this wall of text is like really overwhelming for it.
So we literally need a reason for them to keep reading. Like, why should they keep reading? Why should they listen to us? And if we consider this see more headline as hook one, we basically need a hook two, like here, right when the body copy opens, a why they should listen to us, basically a why they should keep reading, because now their brain's gone from slow to like basically 100% stopped if they're actually gonna read this full thing. So we gotta give them a reason to do that. And at the beginning of this video, I put a hook one, an authority hook, a why you should listen to me hook, which is showing that, yeah, I've already taken these 10 fixes, 10 mistakes, fixed them on some other Boudoir Facebook ads. Didn't even fix all the mistakes, just fixed like 2/3 of them. I was already able to 2 to 4x the amount of women coming through the ad, coming pre-qualified, and they're more specific, so they're kind of just like better quality prospects off rip as well, all for the same ad spend. Now, so for this one, let's see. Now we're missing the hook to the authority hook, which means gonna have fewer women reading our full ad copy, even though it is only a few lines. Fewer women reading the full ad copy, fewer women becoming pre-qualified, because they'd honestly rather keep scrolling because they don't really have a reason to keep reading this. And we're actually getting, as a result, getting fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, and resulting in more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, and ultimately giving us fewer sales, fewer bookings, lower revenue, lower ROAS, fewer conversions from the tranche one women our ads go into. And all that data from tranche one women feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. So our ads go to lower quality meta profiles for tranche two, which are lower converting. So we're spending the same ad spend each day. We're getting fewer and fewer sales over time. It's the downward spiral of despair. Keeps feeding in on itself. There's no way to enter this kind of a whirlpool drain once the ad has entered it. So our ads dying out, our ads burning out. Refresh creative. All right, the second thing out of three things we want to have in our See More headline is a story/narrative. This is where we empathize. This is where we say, I see you. I understand what the heck you're going through. I know exactly what's happening to you. It's basically where we write the movie script, as if we're writing lines in a movie script. And it's kind of like as if we had a third person camera following them around. What's going on in their day-to-day life? And then we're also figuring out what they're thinking, what they're feeling. Kind of like, the reality TV cutscenes where they're facing the camera and commenting on what they're thinking, what they're feeling from the previous clip that just, that recently showed up. And so we want to write the movie script, show that we understand them. And we call this punch two. So punch one is up here. Basically, we want to get our 1-2 punch lined up correct. So punch one's up here. Me and the women are sitting in the exact conversation we're having in their brain because literally no other ad for any other service or any other boudoir photographer will be able to match our specificity. So even if they want to scroll on by, they won't be able to. They have to click see more. That's how good we can do these see more headlines. They have to click see more, even if they want to keep scrolling, just because no other ad has ever been so specific to what they've been saying in their brain. They're like, how could these people know this about me? So that's punch one. Punch two would be down here. It'd be story/narrative of what's actually going on in their life. And I also did punch two, this story/narrative at the beginning of this video. And talking about boudoir photographers, they're running ads on their own for a long time. Ads are doing worse and worse over time, but they had started out good, so they're feeling desperate. They're refreshing their creative. Don't really know what's happening, but it's gone with all their friends as well. Or paying an ad agency every month. They're like, what? They're frustrated. They got to keep paying them a bunch of money for worse and worse results over time. And they're like, well, they realize they already have all that ad agency's best ads. Might as well cut them loose, keep the ads in the account, and just keep running them because the ad agency is simply doing worse and worse over time. So a little bit of writing the movie script, story/narrative, empathize in there. And we gotta get this punch too, story/narrative, because we can get this punch to 1-2, the 1-2 punch correct. It unlocks something like really magical. The first thing is specificity. No one, and this has to do with the newsfeed mechanics, or meta ad algorithm and newsfeed mechanics. Kind of 5% of the reason we gotta get this 1-2 punch correct is when the women in our city interact with our Boudoir Facebook ad or another Boudoir Facebook ad at all, and Meta knows because the keyword is Boudoir, or those keywords. What happens for the next 24 hours is they're being pounded on Facebook, on Instagram, in their feeds with all the other Boudoir Facebook ads from all of our competitors in the same city. But guess what? Half the competitors, all broad messaging. The absolute maximum they will have is 2 out of 4 of these specific attributes in the See More headline, absolute maximum. So basically everyone's got broad messaging, unless, they've already been working with me already. But they got broad messaging, and we, so basically the women don't even remember the broad messaging. No one ever remembers broad messaging ads. So that's 5% of the reason we want to get specific and get our 1-2 punch correct. The 95% reason, actually, back to the 5% reason. So half got broad messaging. The other half, everyone's just copying everyone else's templates or the ads that are already, doing good in the city. So women actually become numb to their messaging because it's all the same. So it's like, what differentiates you if your ads are all the same? Nothing. So being specific, we actually stand out among all the either broad messaging or the copied messaging. That's 5% of the reason we gotta get the 1-2 punch correct. 95% of the reason we gotta get the 1-2 punch correct is this. When we get it, 1-2 punch correct, that means we are correctly specific. And we want to be correctly specific because that turns us into a market of one, which collapses the sales cycle. People are willing to pay higher prices in a faster time because they feel like this is the only solution specifically for them. Like think of our dentist example. What if all the other dentists, at the end of month 13 there with the tooth pain, what if all the dentists say, oh, we just do 6-month checkups and teeth cleanings, we don't fix tooth pain. But there's one dude in our city, and we can only go to our city. We can't go anywhere else. There's one dude that fixes tooth pain. One dude that's specifically for us, for our situation. Guess what? We're paying whatever to get in there. Whatever he wants. Put me to the top of the list. And you know what? I'll even wait till the afternoon tomorrow. Just get me in sometime tomorrow because you're the market of one. You're the only option for me. So that's what this enables. If we can get correctly specific, which correctly specific is getting punch 1, punch 2 correct. All right. Oh, look at this. So we're missing the See More headline. We're missing the story/narrative, but want to see yourself in the moonlight? Positive. It's got to be up in the, there. It's got to be able to See More headline. Boom. Positive. It's got to be able to See More headline. Search somewhere here you are right now. Boom. Got to be able to See More headline. And obviously, depending on how these test is kind of how we would put them up there or arrange them. All right, so we're missing the story/narrative. So we're gonna have less women feeling like our offer is specific to them, which means fewer women are actually gonna finish reading the full ad copy, all the way through here, which means less women are getting fully pre-qualified. So we're gonna have fewer pre-qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments. We're gonna have more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, more tire kickers, resulting in less sales, less revenue, fewer conversions, lower ROAS, all from tranche 1 women. And all that data feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. And our ads go to lower quality meta profiles over time, which is same ad spend, lower results over time. Our ad's in the downward spiral of despair. Ad dying out, ad burning out, and then we gotta refresh our creative. All right, potential mistake number 8 is we want to have our full offer here. So the actual purpose of our ad is to provide the right context everywhere up here to get our ad to the right contextual person. That's the purpose. Basically expose as many of the right contextual people to our offer as possible. And let's see. All right, so yeah, we're missing the full offer here. This would be stuff like, this would be stuff like, is hair makeup included? Yes or no? How long is the shoot? Is there a session fee? Yes or no? Outfit changes? Yes or no? Things like that. So we're missing the full offer. So again, less women fully pre-qualified. And less women fully pre-qualified means fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, and also more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, more tire kickers, all resulting in lower revenue, fewer bookings, lower sales, fewer conversions, lower ROAS from the Tranche 1 women, and all that data is fed back into the meta ad algorithm, and our ads go to lower quality meta profiles over time, aka lower converting meta profiles over time, which means same ad spend, fewer and fewer and fewer sales from the same ad over time. And basically our ad dies out, our ad burns out, and we got to refresh the creative. All right, now the final 2 mistakes can happen here at the bottom of the ad. Mistake number 9 here. So mistake number 9 is having anything below the creative. There's 3 reasons for that. So anything below the creative would be below creative headline, button, or description, kind of any of that text. And 3 reasons for this. The reason number 1 for mistake number 9, 5% of the reason for this mistake is stuff below the creative, stuff below the picture, ties into mistake number 1, makes it look more like an ad. So when it looks more like an ad, more women scrolling by, fewer women consuming the ad copy. You know how it goes from there, downward spiral of despair. I mean, there's no one posting, like this could be a photo shoot picture someone's posting organically on their wall. Yeah, I could definitely see this. Pictures from my photo shoot, but there would never be any text or button below it. These are ad attributes. The next thing is reason number 2 for mistake number 9 is 15% of the reason for mistake number 9. Some interesting newsfeed psychology here. So women are scrolling fast, scrolling. See more headline is all they see. They're scrolling by fast. And by the time they get here, basically to the bottom, to like the next post, their subconscious has processed and surfaced about like a quarter to a third of these words appear in the see more headline. They might have seen milestone, celebrate yourself, and birthday. But so it surfaces when they're looking at this. But they know they're on the same post, and if these words don't match, it triggers the error detection network in the brain automatically. It triggers error, incongruent, confusion, keep scrolling. And again, this is all automatic. Instead, we want to actually have them scroll back up to read, what we got here. And even if the text matched, still ties into mistake number 1, makes it look more like an ad. So it's always a mistake to have any text here underneath the ad. Now the third reason number 3 for mistake number 9 is 80% of the reason of mistake number 9 is this. Any text underneath the creative, any button, it enables women to take the next step of an ad, go to the next page, without first being forced to click, see more somewhere here on the right, and read the full ad copy, become fully pre-qualified, and if it's for them, then click over. This is a massive, massive, massive problem that basically no one knows about. Here's why it's a massive problem. to have unqualified clickers coming over. So because the way the meta ad algorithm takes in data to kind of bias or steer to which meta profiles to show our ads to next. So it pulls from different pools of data. One of the pools we'll call pool one is converters. So those meta profiles that have converted on our ad, given us the action we're optimizing for. And it's basically like Meta has all their profiles in it of all the converters in this pool one, and it sees what are the common attributes, common data points, because Meta profiles have over 1 million data points. So, among all these converters, what are the common data points? And let's go find more Meta profiles like that. So that's what pool one is doing, and it goes find profiles that's like, 93% similar to all these, the pool one kind of all the similar data points, or 83%, whatever. Now the problem is pool two. Pool two is the same thing, but it's only for ad clickers. So it's only for ad clickers. Now the problem with this is pool two is normally 10 to 50x larger than pool one. And now if 90-95% of the women coming through, if we got this stuff here below the ad, they're going to be coming through unqualified. They did not, nobody wants to read all this unless they're forced to. People want to be scrolled, be entertained. They just want to click here fast. Maybe they think it's a clothing brand, like who knows? Because they didn't read any of this, because we didn't force them to read any of this. So they're coming over there unqualified, which 90 to 95% of them will be, because most people don't want to read all this thing. They just want to click the button, go to the next page. Fast, fast, whatever we want to call it, dopamine hit. And so that turns to 90 to 95% of data in pool two to actually be similar data points among unqualified profiles, which means we're super biasing the meta ad algorithm to go to more meta profiles in the future that are similar to all the common data points we found in pool two. But pool two is 90 to 95% unqualified profiles. So we're just biasing our ad algorithm to go to totally unqualified people in meta profiles in the future. So that's the massive reason why having anything below the ad creative is a mistake. We actually want ideally, it would be one link click, one button click, one conversion. Then pool one and pool two would be exactly equal. All right, mistake 10 is the objective. Now, I don't know, got a send message button here. I'm gonna guess we're using the engagement objective. And engagement objective is always, always, always a mistake. But we could be using the right objective. But here's why engagement objective is a mistake. When we choose engagement, and get a DM, we're telling Meta, hey, for the city that I'm in, I am, for a city I'm targeting, give me the 6% slice of meta profiles that are like 95% plus to send a DM, to like sending DMs. Their main meta profile behavior is sending DMs. Get my ads in front of that 6% slice of the audience with, 90 percentile, 95 percentile plus probability to actually send a DM. And there's also some weighting of kind of the keywords that we got in our ad text here, because Meta does use an AI text scanner to determine context. And so, yeah, the keywords do also have some weight, kind of like 3 ways. One is what things women have been searching on Facebook, Instagram, and Google, because they all share data, and those keywords kind of get pasted onto their, pulled in and pasted / glued on their Meta profile. Second, keywords and other ads they've interacted with on Facebook and Instagram. Those keywords also get pasted on their Meta profile. And third is their microphones in our phone for the Facebook and Instagram app, always listening, always sucking in all the words we're saying out loud, even if we're not on the app, even if we're not on a phone call, even if our phone's in sleep mode, always listening, always sucking in data, pasting those data points to our Meta profile, which is why, we're talking about something and in a few days, later that week, the end of the week, we're seeing ads for that thing. We're seeing also organic posts for that thing. It's because Meta's listening to us, even if we never engaged with any ad about it, never searched it. It's from listening through our microphone. Keywords get pulled in, pasted on our meta profile. So we're telling our ad to go to engagers, that's NDMs. The problem is, so that's kind of their dominant behavior on their meta profile. The problem is we're not optimizing for DMers who also respond to our calls, texts, and emails. All this is just sending one DM, nothing about responding. And the problem is we're, optimizing for DMers, but not that they book a call, show up to a call. And finally, we're optimizing for DMers, but not those who buy, not those who DM and then buy. And so, yeah, we'll get a little dusting that they DM and then they do answer our phones, calls, and emails. And yes, I'll have an even smaller dusting still that yes, they DM and they book a call, show up to a call. And we'll have even the tiniest dusting still that yes, they will DM and they will buy. But we want buyers, so we should simply target buyers from the jump, because then our ads will go to people that have buying behavior on their meta profile as the dominant behavior. When we go to DMers, their dominant behavior is DMing, which means it's not buying. So buying is not their dominant behavior on their meta profile, aka they are non-buyers. So yeah, we're getting tons of DMs from non-buyers, but non-buyers don't buy. They DM. The DMers don't buy, they like to DM. And so we're getting all these messages, cool, but then we're getting all these messages from non-buyers. But we're actually in all the steps later in our funnel screwed up because ton don't respond, ton flame out, ton ghost. We don't know if it's the messages we're sending, if we should have called them, if it's our offer. We've got no clue. But even if we had all those variables after in our funnel dialed in, perfect, these DMers, 99% still wouldn't buy because they're non-buyers. So we're filling up our inbox with non-buyers if we're doing, the engagement using the incorrect objective. And yeah, okay, we get cheaper messages, $1 message, $52 message, okay. But let's say it takes 100 messages to get one buyer, one sale. $100 CAC, $100 cost per acquisition, $100 customer acquisition cost. Well, if we just simply targeted with a buyer objective towards buyers, maybe it'd be, who knows, $20 per message. But we closed 1 out of 2 messages, so $40 CPA, $40 cost per customer acquisition. Which, so $40 to get a buyer or $100 to get a buyer, the same buyer. That's 2.5x, literally 2.5xing our ROAS, 2.5xing the efficiency of our ad spend, 2.5xing the profit of our ads channel if we simply target buyers from the jump. Now, I don't know if we're using the correct subjective here. I got no clue, so we'll give like half a mistake here. All right, so now we'll score this, see what we did, and compare it to the rest of the boudoir industry. All right, so kind of the top 10 most common mistakes. So does it look like an ad? Nope, that's not a mistake. Let's see, we're missing the who, missing negative. We got the positive, we got the hesitation / roadblock. We're missing the authority hook. We're missing the story / narrative. We're missing our full offer. We got a below creative headline and button. Those are always a mistake. And half a mistake for our objective. All right, so 6.5 out of 10 mistakes. Hey, this is one of our good ads. 6.5 out of 10 mistakes. The average in the boudoir industry is 8 out of 10 mistakes. So hey, this is really good. Best I've seen so far is 5.5 out of 10 mistakes. I think 2 or 3 people have gotten that. So 6.5, really, really good. So definitely going to be out competing people in our city, which is awesome. Now I do see ads that have more than 2 out of 10 mistakes that I already know they're going to be performing worse and worse over time, and I consider those, a breaking down boudoir Facebook ad. Basically similar to like a car that's performing worse and worse over time. It's breaking down more and more over time. call it a, breaking down car, a car that's breaking down. And where do we bring a car that's breaking down? Or bring it to a car mechanic. Similarly, if we got a Boudoir Facebook ad that's breaking down, where do we bring it to? Bring it to a Boudoir Facebook ad mechanic to get the mistakes fixed, get it back up and running again. So if your Boudoir Facebook ad is dealing with all these mistakes I talked about today, and you want, basically ads dying, ads burning out, you're refreshing creative, not really knowing why you gotta keep doing that, or why the ad starts out good but kind of turns trash over time. And you want to have better ads that sustain and scale, grow the business, scale the business, more sales, more revenue, more popularity in your social circle, without trying to read, hundreds of books, watching marketing YouTube videos, testing, trying to find a system that works all on your own. Then yeah, I do got a Boudoir Facebook Ads Mechanic offer for you today. Kind of two options. First one is pay per root cause problem solved. And basically I squished the 10 mistakes I talked about today into 5 root cause problems. And I can do like a 20-second fast quote here. So does it look like an ad? Nope. So we don't have the root cause problem. See more headline. We need 4 out of 4 specific attributes. We got 2 out of 4 here. So that's root cause problem 1. See more headline. Body copy, we need 3 out of 3 sections here. We got 0 out of 3, so that's root cause problem 2. Below creative headline and button, those are always a mistake to have. That's root cause problem 3. And objective, half a root cause problem. Because we actually, maybe we're using the correct objective, maybe not. So it's 3.5 out of 5 root cause problems, and I charge $50 per root cause problem I fix. 50 bucks. And yeah, you can take my fixes and put them on all your other ads as you want. Or, duplicate this ad, put my fixes in it, run both in parallel, compare them side by side, and then shut off the loser, keep the winner rolling. So 50 bucks per root cause problem solved, and you can choose between one or the maximum number. So in this case, the max would be 3.5 times 50, so 175 bucks for me to fix this one ad. Or we got a much higher, much better value option, option 2, where I'll fix all the mistakes in all your Boudoir Facebook ads and create as many new Boudoir Facebook ads as you want for 100 bucks a month, flat fee, low cost, well, flat fee month to month, no contracts, and you can, you can collab with me as much or as little as you want. But both options will be done for you. I'll be doing all the work. Get this done for you. And yeah, so once you decide option 1 or option 2, hit me up. You got my phone, you got my email, and whatever social platform we're on, you can DM me here as well. So once you hit me up, I'll ask you what you got for me, and then we'll go from there. All right, that's everything. Adios.